And we're back.
Good evening
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen in Facebook world.
in Facebook land. Facebook land. How is everyone tonight?
Yes, how are we all going? So, what are we on? What are we on this week? Intuitive guidance.
Intuitive guidance. I guess we could give it a crack. What do you reckon?
Yeah, might as well. Why
Seems
not?
to be working for the other weeks.
Mhm.
Hey, Tracy.
Hey, Tracy.
How's
Yes.
it going?
Welcome. Welcome. So, yes, intuitive guidance. Any life issues? Any? Some of our tools we have is like how to identify the symbolic meaning of what's going on in your life.
Yeah.
Whether it be basically, if you see it, it's in you.
See it, it's in you.
So the
But
body,
if it annoys the shit out of you, it's probably in you
Yeah.
somewhere.
it's probably in you even more.
Even more.
Maybe not the same way, but yes, it can be in you. Reoccurring problems,
Yeah.
recurring issues with your car, with your house, with your family.
Reoccurring issues with reoccurring issues.
Yes. And so one we had fun with this week is when I did Access, it was called they call it Pico Universes, which is creating realities through our imagination that the subconscious mind picks up and makes them real. So it's it's quite an interesting one to see.
Yeah.
When you think about something you want, or you see something you want, and let's say it's a business or something, and you create all this stuff of how it'll look and how it'll feel, and when you create that inside yourself, your subconscious mind picks it up and creates it as a real experience. So then you've had the experience, at least on a hormonal and energetic level. Then you're less inclined to do it. So when you're planning your future, so to speak, don't go into the details too much. Just go, if I'm one of the things we're doing now is I'm going to open a shop very soon down here in Melbourne. So, but without going into too many details, just go, okay, so how does that feel? Does that make me feel light? Does that feel lighter? As soon as you go into the details, then you're experiencing it on the inside. The subconscious mind picks that up and thinks you've actually already done it. So it takes away your drive and motivation to do it.
So it's kind of like, taking your imagination to fantasy, or, we're not saying don't use your imagination,
No,
right? Because, you need to use your imagination to get the feeling of what it is that you want, right?
To create the feeling, but not to create the details.
Not to create the details.
When you create the details, you actually create the feeling in the now, in the subconscious, especially when you get the, oh, wow, that feels amazing sort of feel about it. That then creates in the subconscious mind that you've already done it.
Yep.
So you lose the motivation and the momentum to actually do it. So be careful when you're visualizing. Be careful if you're using law of attraction. Don't go into too much details, because the subconscious mind will pick up the feelings. If you're good at this, if you're an empath like most people on here are, then you're good at using your imagination. You're actually creating it on one level, one layer of your aura, and then you lose some of the motivation to do it. Also, you create a limitation on what it's going to look like and how the universe can help co-create that.
Yeah, and I think the example that we talk about a lot is, if you've come up with a new idea about a business or, something sort of venture that you want to do, and you go around and you actually start to tell people, right? And they give you congratulations, and that says, like, it's a fantastic idea. Even in doing that, right?
Yeah.
You're I guess, running off of the emotions and the feeling of what it could be. Yeah. And then therefore the subconscious is translating that, well, actually, I don't need to do it anymore because I've already felt how I wanted to feel.
Yeah. So you've already got, so it's like if you tell people about your business and they go, wow, you're going to be fantastic at that. You get a rush, right? When people tell you that and you feel good, you feel all chuffed. That takes away the desire, and the subconscious mind picks it up as you've already done it. It takes the credit. This is why they say, speak your fears, not your dreams, It's so that it takes away that power behind it. But someone here said I was always understood we're meant to, feel it. You're absolutely correct. Feel it without the pictures.
Yeah.
Feel it without the details. So feel if it's a business, if it's a relationship, just feel what it'll make you feel like, and then just drop it there. Don't take it any further than that. Because especially if you're intuitive, if you're empath, you can create the whole scenario inside. Subconscious mind picks it up, and you've already lived the relationship. You can do it on the bus. You see someone you want to be in a relationship with. You've had the whole marriage, the kids, and everything before the person even gets off the bus. You haven't even met them yet. You haven't even spoken to them. So,
there are so many songs written about this, John.
Yes, there are. One we used to laugh about and listen to over and over again, and then we finally realised that
the message in that song,
and you can feel it as I can. It builds up inside of you like a space, and that space is full, right? So if you're actually empathic and you go, okay, so check out all the details and all the things I imagine, and just go back to just the feeling. Just, wow, that'd be great. Let's find out what it's going to be like. And that chucks out all those feelings, and it deletes all of those images that you make.
Yeah, and it also ties in with, you choosing and not letting God choose, right? Because you're creating all the little parameters, right? And the context around, it's this new business, and I'd love for it to be here and this location. I want to have this and that. And you don't give God an opportunity, right?
So you're only. Sometimes that works too, by the way. Don't think that it can't work, but it makes it very difficult for the universe to do its half, and you're doing all of yours. When you're doing 100%, the universe can't do 50. And so go back to the feeling. So if you do the images, if you do make the images up, that's not a problem. Say if it's like a car and you want a red Ferrari, blah, 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 then just drop all the details of red Ferrari and everything and just go, how does that red Ferrari make me feel? How do I feel when I'm in that, right? And then just go back to that feeling and go, okay, whatever makes that feeling in my life, bring that. Doesn't even have to be a car. It's, you're just trying to create the feeling. That's what works with the law of attraction and brings it to you. So just be careful with that one, because we've had a whole...
Oh, we found some fucking cork of fucking picker.
We've had about 4 days of clearing shit that we've fucking created.
There's another one.
There's no space. It's like, so now when we're trying to actually create it in the physical, in the material, there's not enough desire there for it. There's not enough momentum to subconscious mind's like, oh, we've already done it. It's like, I've already had 24 marriages. Why would I get married again? It's like, because it registers. The subconscious mind picks it. This is what meditation, this is what creative visualization is all about, right? You can use it to actually build your body up. The subconscious, you can do weightlifting and stuff in your subconscious and in your meditation, and the body will start to get some of that muscle change. Maybe not as much as doing it literally, but some of it. So yeah, just be careful with that visualization stuff. Don't over visualize. Just get the feeling and go, okay, leave it there, and then just ask the universe, ask God, whatever you want to call it. Okay, now show me, where does that lead? And let that feeling guide you. Yeah,
we call it God.
We call it God these days. We're not afraid of that word anymore.
We just one of those picky universes.
So this is one. This is our intuitive guidance trying to guide us as well. This is all of these things. So the readings here, we don't do the readings. We don't do the draw the cards on this. If you've got specifics and you give us some details of what you want or what's not working or something like that, and how it's affecting you and how it's feeling, we can try and help you find some of the filters, some of these things that you've got that are blocking it from coming to you. So
okay. So hello to everyone that's saying hello.
Hello.
A lot of love there.
Hello.
There's one from Lucia. Hello, Lucia. It's been a while. Hi, John and John. Can you support with insights for healing a deep pain in my head on the right side? It's been very strong, though I surrendered.
It's exactly what we're just talking about. This is exactly what we're just talking about. We pick up. This is where these when we create these realities, we create these things. So on the right side of your head, so we get a lot. We were getting it a lot on the left side.
On the left side,
right? Yeah. So this is actually creating what we want in a relationship with a female. So the right side's male. So you've created images, too many images about what you want, either in the male or in the physical material realm. So in the external world, so it could be a male, it could be business, it could be your physical health or your wealth or anything along that line. You created too much detail, and it's created like a fucking space or a bubble. It's like
those little thinking bubbles, right? That people do when they're thinking. Is one of those fucking things that just sits right there.
It creates that. So then, when your crown chakra's open, because I'm pretty sure
this is Lucia.
Lucia, you do a bit of channeling and stuff. So when the energy's coming through, it hits that bubble and it causes some severe fucking pain. Right? We've only been going through that one for about a year and a half.
Fucking hell!
It's caused some massive, serious pain. And so it's get rid of the ideas of what you think that the physical stuff or the male stuff, if it's got a lot of it's got to do with, you know, trying to make so John's one was about trying to make his daughters happy, and that's where it started. That's the initial part. So you might be trying to make males, your son or your husband or your father or someone like that, you might be trying to make them happy. You're trying to do too much for them, and then that's usually the start of it. It usually starts with someone close and personal to us. So get rid of all the ideas of what you think will make them happy. Get rid of all the ideas of what you think will make whatever it is on that physical side, on that male side, happy, like happy, or how it should look like. Just get rid of the images and just leave the core of it there of wanting to be happy, or wanting to be successful, or wanting to be wealthy, or whatever.
You know,
good relationship.
Yeah, the original I wonder, right? Whatever that original I wonder.
So I wonder what it'd be like if my husband was happy and kids were happy. You know, it's like
you can't leave it
just leave it at that, and leave it up to God, and don't decide that they should be happy or that they should be happy now. These are all things that it's like these bubbles inside of us, and I've only saw it this week, so I'm still working out some of the details of how to clear this properly. But it works really fast. It's so many layers inside of us, and it creates layers in the aura, and it goes all around you in the aura, all of these imaginings. And it's like, so you got to take it away without taking the initial part away, which is, I wonder what it'd be like to be successful. I wonder what it'd be like to be in a good relationship. I wonder what it'd be like if my kids were happy and my relationship between me and my kids was in a good state, right? And don't make it have to be done right now. That's the other part.
That is a big part, right?
When it comes to helping others, when it comes to fixing others, as we call it, when we get into our fixing mode, we're deciding and judging God and telling God that it should be done now, right? You know, I don't know. So I work on my side now, and if it's one of my kids or if it's a relationship or something else, then I work on my side now and just accept that in God's good time, it'll happen for them as well, when they choose and when they align with it. So you'll feel the bubble, you'll feel that pain. It's kind of like as John said, it's like one of those thought bubbles. But my one on the left side was really long. It started in the head, it goes all the way down to the navel chakra. And so as I clear it and go, okay, I don't know what it look like. I don't know what it should look like. I just want, I want to experience it. I want to have it in the real life. I want to have it in the physical or the third dimension.
It's what we call Bain imagining. Right?
Yes. So it's like it creates a reality. It creates a false reality, a pico reality inside of you, right? And then therefore that's what creates the pain. And so that when that doesn't create the pain. The truth, the real you comes in, and that energy flows in, and it sort of hits that space and has to go around it and everything else, and that's what causes the pain. It's that the dysfunction between the energy coming in, and also release it, right? Focus instead of focusing on the pain. Another little technique we use for this is say, that's the real me, the true me, the God me, the infinite
Christ
being,
me,
the Christ me coming in. The pain is the lies, the false me's releasing. So don't focus. Thank the positive that's coming in and go, okay, that will release in its own good time. It is something we'd have to talk you through because there's a couple of different techniques. So let's try and work with that. If not, get on and give us a message or come on live. Anyone can come on live.
Come on
have
live,
a bit of a chat and run through some of these things. These new ones that we've got this week is quite interesting. So especially for people that are going to be on this sort of show, that we do a lot of too much imagining. Over visualizing can cause these problems. So visualize, get the feeling, then let go of the pictures. Go, I don't know what that'll look like. I just want to feel good like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Where are we? Lots of comments.
That one? I started a new one. That one?
I've started new lifestyle choices. I feel so positive that this is going to work out for me. Margaret Curry.
Okay, so again, Margaret, with that one, start a new lifestyle. Stay in the feeling of positive and don't go into the details too much. Be careful. This is what happens with this stuff a lot. Then we start imagining and we're trying to create details in that, and that actually throws it off course. Just keep 50% of it, the picture open for the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, to put its thing in and allow you to change direction and allow it to sort of come up and surprise you and manifest in ways that you couldn't possibly imagine. So that keeps the mind open. It keeps what we call interesting point of view, or I know nothing.
Okay, Teresa. not really getting much from on the post there. I'm planning to move away alone. Planning on moving away alone. I need to be free from problems. Can you give me some advice about leaving behind my kids and so forth? Maybe
The wording is the one that stands out.
Yeah.
Moving away alone, you're not alone. You can never be alone. So, but the subconscious mind hears that and thinks of aloneness and creates an image of aloneness. So you're moving away to connect in a different way. So change the wording on that part. And you're not leaving your kids. You're going to create a better space for them, for the opportunity for them to come in first, so that you can transform and you can make this. You're changing you to make the space for them to actually help them and help you. So the wording is very important on that one. It's like, it feels like you're doing the wrong thing, but make sure you word it right. You're moving to a different place to not be alone, to create real proper relationships, to create proper connections. So you're not caught in the drama. And sometimes you've got to disassociate yourself quite physically, like in space-wise. Like we moved to Melbourne.
We've done it. Yeah, we did it very recently.
We moved to Melbourne, and it was hard at first, but now 6 months later, it's really starting to manifest and show up. It's actually repairing a lot of my relationships with my kids because I'm working on me and owning that stuff, and it's creating the space for them. It felt like that at first. It felt like I was going away. I wasn't, it felt like abandoning them or whatever. But that wasn't true. It was like, I'm working on me to create a new space and a new version of me that makes it more available and more space for them to come in.
Absolutely.
So it feels like you're doing the right thing. Just get the right wording. You're doing it for the positive, not for the negative. And don't do it to get away. You can use things like distance yourself from issues, but getting away is a fear-based thing. You're giving your power away to it. I need to get away. So it's kind of like when people use the word protection. If you use it in the wrong way, it creates more of a resistance. If we resist and react or align and agree with something, we hold it in place. So the resist and react is, I need to get away. Or it's like, no, I need to distance myself from this because this is no longer working for me. It's a very different image or picture internally to getting away. Running away is a fear-based.
And it's important, right, to identify that you're making this choice to essentially put your feelings first, right? So this is the place that you should be coming from, right? If it feels like, because it feels like I'm putting my feelings first, then as you say, that's not running away, right? That's not getting away or being alone.
Yeah.
Right?
So even she was just saying her children are older. The dad passed away 3 years ago. My children are all older. They're all adults now, and I stuffed up because I was in a bad space last year and said something in a bad way that I shouldn't have, created a distance between us. But me moving away and working on myself and owning that is now opening the door for a whole new connection that's starting with them now. That we're rebuilding that, and it's starting to get into. I can see it going to be in a really nice space. So it's like they might need that space for you to go away too, so they can sort of find themselves. I know when my father passed away many years ago, it kind of freed me up a little bit because I respected him almost too much, where I put his wants and his desires ahead of mine. So when he passed away, it actually gave me the freedom to start following my own intuition and my own guidance and stuff like that. So sometimes it's for their benefit to give them some space as well.
Tylee, Patricia, hi guys, need a winner in Melbourne Cup tomorrow. Who will win? The only thing I got through earlier this afternoon was a red helicopter number 302. Whatever that translates to for someone, I don't know. But that was a message that threw into my head earlier this afternoon about the Melbourne Cup tomorrow. Red helicopter 302.
Yeah. So one of the things, if you need a winner, you're not going to get one because when you need something, it's like, when you've got money, you get more money. Yep. If you go in with that need a winner, unless it's the occasional times in my life, probably I can count on one hand where I've been in that space where God's really provided because it was friggin' essential. I needed food and petrol if I can get interstate or something, get back home. But usually when you're in that needy space, it doesn't happen. So get in the positive space. Feel yourself. And again, feel yourself. Don't see it. Feel yourself as the winners. Feel yourself cashing in the ticket and dancing along and going,
maybe feel yourself flying away in a red helicopter with the number 302 on it. What is that feeling like?
So just get into the space of already in the feeling level, already done it, and how good that feels. And don't make your selection till you're in that space. Make your selection, make any selection in life when you're in the good space. Don't make it when you're in that needy space, when you're in a desperate space. If you do, just sit and hold and wait. and then go, okay, don't make the actions. Even if you know what you want to do, going for a loan is one of them. You know, don't ask for it. Don't ring up until you're actually in that either neutral, peaceful space or in the happy going, oh yeah, it's sort of energy and feeling inside. Make a choice from that happy feeling.
Yeah. Otherwise, sit and hold.
Otherwise, sit and hold, and you know the best way to win is not to gamble.
Kate, my house was damaged from a hailstorm last December. I've moved out for 2 weeks while they fix the damage. It's been a long haul. Just wondering if things will go back to normal.
Well, yeah, not a lot, but going back to normal. That wondering. Picture it. Just tell the universe what you want, and don't go back to normal. Go forward to normal.
Yeah.
So one of the things we do when we go back to normal, we're trying to recreate the past. You know, even if that normal was good then, it might not be good now. So I want to go forward into a new normal, into a new peaceful, easy flow. Right. So ask for what you want. So I want things to move, flow normally and easily in divine timing. I call it. You know, Godspeed. Some people call it that. But you got to allow that other half, which is allowing the divine, allowing God to put their half into it. So that a lot of that comes with timing and the who's and the how's and everything else. So yeah, just ask for what you want, but let go of all the details of how it should look, when it should look, stuff like that. And it comes very fast. All right.
Shazza, I have a court case coming, similar, I guess, to this. I have a court case coming up with people who damaged my home and squatted for a long time. Can you see a good outcome?
Again, it's like these questions, when we ask the universe, most of what we ask in the early stages, at least, is we only get the answer of yes, no, and maybe. And so it's a yes and a no. It's like, can I see a good outcome? What's a good outcome? You know, it's like, if you don't know the whole picture, so, you know, what's a good outcome for me is for me to be able to fix everything. So see what you want, take away the money, take away whether they get punished or not get punished and all that. And what's the good outcome? That the house is all good and that, you know, I rented it out again and or whatever it is, you know, picture the basic thing and feel the basic things of what you want. I want it all to be running smoothly and not to be fucking playing up. And so, and how do I get into that space now? How do I feel that now? The feeling is the key. Feel that space now. Go, okay, I'm feeling it more and more. And use the word more and more. Don't try and do it all at once. Use the word I'm feeling it more and more, where it's all just going to start to slot back into place, all really easy, very little effort. And, you know, it can do. And it's like, there is a yes, definitely on a good outcome, but there's also I've got a yes on a better outcome if you apply this technique a little bit and start actually asking for what you want and letting go of all the other parts, letting go of if there's any feelings of revenge or if you feel bad because people in the world do that. You know, if we've got any negative emotion in us, that's what makes it hard for this to manifest properly. It's fucking terrible that people do that. No, it's not. We don't know that it's terrible. We don't know God's plan. You know, it seems terrible. It might be terrible, but if we're harboring feelings of resentment or, you know, hatred or blame or any of those lower level emotions, that causes it to, even if we do get a good result, the good result's not as good as it could have been. Let go of your, if you've got any blame towards them or blame towards, you might not have it towards the people, you might have it towards society, you might have it towards the earth, you might have it towards the government or the Illuminati, like a lot of people do.
Or even towards yourself, you know, I should have known better or whatnot.
So just get rid of all the blame and all of those negative emotions and go, okay, lead me and guide me, show me how this can be, you know, the best situation for everyone involved, right? And that can create it. We feel that can create it to be an amazing outcome, way better than you could possibly imagine. But it will take time. It'll take a few different things to come into place there. So
it's justice that she was holding on to.
Justice, yes. Justice is a tricky one because who's to say what justice there is? Have you measured every past life? Have you measured? How can you measure justice? You've got to know every past life of yourself and the other people concerned. Justice is like you know, vengeance. They're negative. They're negative emotion. Justice, instead of seeing, you know, what's the other word they use? You know, it's, I can't remember the other word at the moment, but, you know, just see it as, you know, perfect for everyone. See it as a win-win. And you know, justice, you know, leave justice, leave revenge to God, you know, if it's required. just know that they will do that. The justice, like when I went through my near-death experience and I went through what they call Judgment Day, it was just me sitting there and in this big room in the fucking somewhere. And it was a review
in the Pico universe.
It was a review of my whole life, right? And it was like, I've seen every choice. It was like Sliding Doors. If any of you guys have seen Sliding Doors with Gwyneth Paltrow, I've seen every choice I made, and we make every choice from one of two spaces. We've got two gods. We've got faith or fear. We've got love and fear, whatever two words you want to use, God and the devil if you want. In any moment, we follow one of those. We follow our faith or we follow our fear. And any of those lower resentment, justice, revenge, they're all the devil. They're all fear. And then that becomes our God, and we follow that. And it never turns out as good results. Temporarily it can, but it all comes up. So, but don't judge yourself for any of that, because fear is just faith inverted, as I say. So fear is you've actually got faith there. The fear is just misidentifying how it should look and what it should look like. It's actually the faith that everything's perfect, and I don't know, and I know it always works out better for me. Evolution. So even if there's a bushfire, right, especially in Australia, the trees and the native trees grow back stronger, and all the introduced species fucking can't grow after the bushfire. So sometimes when there's turmoil, we have seasons in our life, we have times where nothing seems to be working out, but that makes us grow our roots deeper, and it makes us grow in a different direction to get around obstacles and stuff like that. And we come back flourishing stronger and stronger if we don't resist it. If we resist it and try and work with it, then we can make it take longer or go on for longer. So it's fighting against it's just having that trust that the universe is always trying to make us evolve into more beautiful, more greater beings than we are.
Yeah, and we often say it's kind of like, choose who you want to be in this moment. So choose who you want to be in that situation. Do you want to be that person that's holding on to that, wanting justice, that's holding on to that, wanting punishment or wanting blame, or do you want to be the opposite of that? Whatever that is.
Justice requires judgment.
Yeah.
And judgment is in duality. There is no, in oneness, in true oneness, there is no judgment, because there is no right or wrong, good or bad. It doesn't mean that things don't sort itself out. It doesn't mean that nature and the universe and God doesn't balance things out and make things work. It just means there's no actual right or wrong. You can do right actions and wrong actions, but it's not right or wrong. Right or wrong requires a judgment. It requires a separation from you and God. So this is what duality is. This is when we have right and wrong, when we have good and bad as a fixed point of view. That's what separates us. But there is a kind of a justice that we don't need to think about, that it just happens naturally. It's like karma, just leave that shit alone. Don't fucking touch it. It's like, you'll mess that shit up, Don't fix your karma bank account unless you can remember every single life you've had and every single life everyone else that you're balancing your karma out with. Unless you can work that out, leave that shit alone. God works it out for you. We'll just mess it up. Just focus on what you want. Focus on, as John said, what person do you want to be in this? Do you want to be the balanced, receptive, loving person who receives from the universe and doesn't judge what the universe does for anyone else? That's a good, simple place to start with.
Yeah.
All right.
Another one of the feeling-based ones, I think, for Natasha. A lot going on for me and my little family at the moment. Will we find a house in the next 17 days?
Again, these are the problem. These questions, the way we form these questions is we've got one hand reaching out to grab it and we've got the other hand pushing it away. So it's like there's two opposing frequencies here. Will we find a house? It's like, I don't know. You just got to I'm not going to go into answering that one particularly with the intuition. I'm going to try and guide you into letting go of the resistance part of it. You've got to find that neutral space and go, okay, I don't know, somehow it'll all work out. It always does. God, the universe is always guiding us into a better one. So usually you probably will, most of the time you will. But if you don't, and you have to fucking live in a fucking motel for a couple of days or a week or something, that's because something better is going to show up. You've got to have that base attitude that even if it doesn't show up in this time, that's the universe is guiding you for something else to show up that's even better, right? So a better, maybe, you don't get it in 17 days because all of a sudden 5 days after that you win the lottery and you buy a fucking house, Who knows, right? Sometimes that frustration we get into and that pushing can make us really surrender. most of it requires a surrender point. Most of this is us giving up how we think it should look, how we think, leaving it up to the universe. And if we can do that for long enough, there is a little bit of an adjustment stage where we feel like we're going to end up living in a shoebox or something.
So for me, what we try to do is we try to find where people are already doing this in another part of their life, And so for me, with work that I do in IT, I use my intuition a lot at work, and so intuitively I tend to just go, you know what, fuck it, I'll nail it. I always nail it, and it always works out in my favor.
Yeah.
And so I take that attitude when it comes to other things in my personal life or in money situations and so forth, and I transfer that attitude. I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I'll nail it. I always nail it.
I don't know how.
I don't know how.
You got to go to I don't know how.
But I'll fucking nail it.
It looks impossible, but shit just works out.
Shit just works out.
When I get out of the way, when I stop fighting with it or trying to push it or trying to pull it, and I just get out of the way and expect it to work out, stuff works out. And even when it looks like it can't, even the last minute, shit just turns up sometimes.
Yeah.
But you've got to find that neutral space in between trying to make it happen and trying to get it, like, pushing, call it pushing and pulling, or align and agree, or resist and react. And it's like, find that neutral place and just go, I don't know, somehow this will work out. And even if it doesn't work out in this timing, that'll bring something even better along. I've got to trust that. I've got to believe that the universe is always making me evolve, making me grow into a bigger, more conscious, more loving being.
And sometimes, Natasha, when we try to push ourselves into the positives, that's just as bad.
Yeah.
Exactly. So like, I'm trying to stay positive, and I can feel that you are like genuinely trying, but at times, what we find is if you just can't get to that positive place, no matter how much you push yourself to it, go back to neutral.
Yeah. Staying positive is resisting and reacting, right? You're pushing against the facts. So we can't get, like, this is one of our training we do. We do this scale of the negative to the positive, and the neutral is right in the middle. We can't get, most of the time, depending on how far into the negative, how far into the doubt or the fear we're in, we can't get into the faith, into the positive in one step. So we've got to go neutral and just go, I don't know. Don't try and get positive, because so the word trying, again, this relates to the subconscious. The word trying means you're not doing it, right? Yeah. So don't get positive first. Get neutral first. Get to a point where you don't care either way. So I don't know. It usually works out. It doesn't matter. If it doesn't, we'll survive and we'll come up with something better, right? And it's like, and I don't know how. It fucking seems impossible, but impossible shit's happened before. Yeah. And then you get to that neutral space, and then you sit in that, and then you can start bringing in the positive. And you go, oh, what about this? And that's when the ideas will pop in. That's when the mind opens up, and that's when God can speak to you directly and say, hey, look at this avenue, look at that avenue, an avenue you would never possibly think of. And that's when shit can be far greater than you can possibly imagine.
Sometimes people can get themselves too far, right? In that negative spiral.
So in that negative, we call it a negative spiral. And when you're going too far down, when you're past a certain amount, you can't even come back to neutral. Yeah. So go to the worst case scenario. Oh shit, okay, we don't get a house. Just play this game with your head. Just take it down to the, so then then we've got to live on the street, and then, and then I'll get my kids taken off me, and then I'll get thrown into jail, and then I'll get killed. It's like, just be ridiculous with it like that, right? Take it as far to the, and then I get killed. It's like, oh, well, then I can deal with that, and I'll just have to come back and have another life, right? And it's like, just take it as far as the negative will go, and that will bring you back to the neutral. Yeah. So, take it as far as that negative little voice wants to take it.
And then what? And then what?
So I don't get the house, and then, we've got nowhere to live. And then we'll have to live on the street.
Okay, I might have to live with friends. Okay, and then what? And I have to live with friends.
And then I'll get judged by everybody. Yeah. And then,
keep going.
The Department of Housing, the family services will come and try and take my kids away and this and that. And it's like, okay, I can live with that. Okay,
and you'll get to a point.
I won't like it, but I can live with it.
And you'll get to a point sometimes where you just call bullshit on it. It's fuck, that's bullshit, And then you can get to
brings you straight back to neutral. As soon as you do that, as soon as you take it as far as we can go and go, fuck it, I'll get by, and I'll come back from that too, like I'll come back from everything else. Yeah. And then bang, that'll bring you straight back to neutral. Then when you're in that neutral space, you open up and you just sit there and go, I don't know. And then that I don't know space, that neutral space is where the ideas can come in. God can come in and go, hey, look at this little ad here. And this person goes, hey, I want to fucking do this thing for fucking mothers and kids and who knows what it is, right? And it just, that's where the miracles can happen. All right.
Okay. Nothing more at the moment.
Yeah. All right. So if anyone wants to come on live, then what have we got here? We've got plenty of time. Yeah.
Plenty of time.
So, these, things will work out. It's a little bit vague when we say things like that. And then, again, the subconscious mind of God can't, things will work out, things will work out always better than I can imagine, right? Add a little bit to that. And even if they don't in this timing, even if it gets worse, and Abraham calls it, the contrast, even if I get further into the negative, that's going to build up enough desire in me to make a real change and surrender whatever it is the fuck I'm holding on to that's causing all this shit. Because the only problem ever, there's only one problem ever, and that's our thinking is away from God's thinking. So we're thinking in a way that's not the way that God thinks. So we're thinking in doubt, lack, fear, whatever negative,
whatever bullshit,
whatever, limitation, or we're thinking from the too much positive desire, how it should be, I should have more money, I should have this. That's all thinking. It's like, if we can let go, if we can surrender and get to that point and be guided from our intuition, be guided from inside. See God, your Christ self is inside of you. The guidance comes from inside, in the heart, in the gut, inside there. And know that that's connected with the oneness. And that is what is going to, start to guide you more and more. And if there's more stuff you need to release, if it goes into the negative, you've got to trust that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe I'll have to live on the fucking, maybe I'll have to live with my mum for a little while. It's going to do my head in, right? And it's like, but that doing my head in, it's going to make me make enough changes so that I don't recreate this again and again and again.
Yeah.
So, it's just sometimes the negative thing that happens, what appears to be the negative thing that happens is actually the positive. Right. So, anyone got any things that really annoy them, really piss you off?
Yeah, let's play that game. What pisses you off? What annoys the shit out of you?
Bad drivers, people who go too slow in the fast lane, something like that. People who don't use their blinkers.
Try and be descriptive. Try and explain how it makes you feel.
People at work who are lazy, things like that, because these things, when we find them and then we find out, because they're in us somewhere. So the whole universe exists inside of you. So they call it macrocosm, microcosm, or they call it as above, so below. So our body is a microcosm of the universe. So the way the universe functions and moves and everything that's happening in the universe is a symbolic version of what's going on inside of our bodies when it comes to atoms and molecules and on that molecular level. It's a classic example. And so if you're seeing it outside of yourself in the universe, which is in the world as well, then it's happening inside of you, because you won't be attracted to it or you won't be drawn to it. This is the real core basic of law of attraction. If you see it, it's in you. If you're noticing it in the world, if it's annoying you, it's in you, but it's in a different way. If it's laziness that pisses you off, then you might not be lazy when it comes to doing your work and everything else, but you might be lazy with your thoughts. You might be lazy with your posture. It might be in a completely different area, but it's the core of what you're seeing that annoys you, that's in you. And when you see that, and when you correct it, it changes shit really, really fast. Sciatica. So sciatica is not following your feelings, especially the lower.
Thelma. Hey, Thelma.
This is Thelma. Yeah, so Thelma's mentioned sciatica.
Yeah.
So it's this is one of my favorite ones from back in the day. I nearly fucking chopped my nerve out of the back of my leg with a carving knife when I was in my 20s.
It fucking annoyed you.
It fucking really annoyed. But it's about not following your feelings, and you're not following your feelings. So sciatica comes a lot from on the right side. So it's about not following your feelings when it comes to either a male or your physical direction or the external direction. So it could be work, could be external direction, it could be a male. And usually we don't follow our feelings, our emotions, because it often 9 times out of 10 relates back to money. I want to go and do this. I want to go and sort of start this new business, but I can't because I haven't got enough money. It's like, I've got to keep working this job. So it's that feeling we want to do something. The simpler one, in the moment, one I caught a couple of times is, hey, I want to go down and, chill out on the beach. It's like, oh, I can't, I've got to go to work and I haven't got the money. And then, it's like, and then you don't do it and the sciatic pain stays there. You do it and it goes away instantly. So when the sciatic pain's there, just go, what do I really want to do right now? I want to, if it's a male side, if you're single or something, it's like, I just want to, just have a look on a dating app. If that's what you want to do, stop telling yourself why you can't do it, why you can't find it. If it's about business, I want to start a new business, but I can't because I haven't got the money. Start fucking planning the business, right? Forget about the money, forget about the details. How can you start a new business? You haven't got the plans there. Plan it all out. Plan it, but plan it and start getting all the ducks in a row that you need to for it actually to do it. Not on a fantasy level, the actual, finish work. It's like, but you can't just finish work. You need to start another work.
Yeah.
So it's actually start working on starting another work. Plan your business and go for it. Like,
even start with making the choice.
As I mean,
I choose
to be a business owner instead of an employee. And it's like, and my business is going to be this, this, and this, and start planning it and expect it somehow miraculously, even though it seems fucking impossible. It's going to show up, right? I plan my business. These are all bounce backs, don't worry. These are all bounce backs, don't worry. There's plenty of them. So this is part of what we're joking about, what even animates what's in you, So everything that's drawn to us, nearly every question that's asked here or anywhere else for me, I know that there's a part of it that relates to me and what I'm doing and where I'm doing it. So, this business part is why I'm saying it that way. Yeah. That's in me. There was a couple of other comments before that, I listened to it, and I know that when you get into oneness, it's just you talking to God all the time, right? So even when you're talking to other people, that's you talking to God. The message is for both of you. So it's like, you're the teacher and the student simultaneously. And so it's like, but the sciatica is the simple explanation is you're not following your feelings. And usually because I haven't got enough money or time, they're the usual base feelings. So you get a feeling, I want to do this. So start planning on leaving your work. Don't tell anyone, don't do anything. Just start planning on what you want to do. You want to be your own business person, or you want to be an investor. Start studying how to invest, right?
Yep.
Even if you've got no money,
Action.
you want a new home, start picking your home out and deciding what it looks like.
Energy in motion.
Yeah.
Fucking mad.
All right.
Thanks for that one. All right, where are we? There's a couple other ones up here. I'm guessing that's from Trip Morris. I think it's watching people's journeys is like watching a cat play with lasers. Arguably one of the most frustrating things to watch.
Well, it can be frustrating or it can be fun. It's frustrating if you're not doing it. If you're not seeing this bounce back, as we call it, or if it animates you, it's in you, it's frustrating because you're fucking doing it somewhere and you can't see it.
You can't see it. And that is frustrating as fuck.
It's fun to watch when you see it and you go, shit, I do that. And then you start correcting it. It's like, I'm doing that in this part of my life. Or I'm doing that. You might not be doing it in the way that you're seeing it. You're seeing it, the ones you're watching might be doing it in their business life or their external life or social life. You might be doing it on your personal life or your health, in your health arena or in your family arena. You might be doing it somewhere else. If you can catch it, that's the ego. When you catch it and you laugh at it, you're catching your own ego. You go, oh shit, I do that. And that fucking changes almost instantly.
Yeah.
So
Sam McDonald, school failing some students by not helping them, and they've sort of slipped through the system.
Good. Fucking congratulations, guys. That system sucks for most of us. Honestly, if they're people like us, let them fucking fail and get out. Just let them get through that thing alive. If they get through it alive, they're going to create some wonderful fucking shit later on, right?
Less shit to deal with.
Because half of us just shouldn't be in the schooling system, honestly. It just doesn't work for us the way that it is. But that's fine. That's, look at your Bill Gateses and your fucking, these people all failed school, that failing is part of the thing that drives them. And the school system at the moment still, it's changing and it's getting better. It's actually getting heaps better. But it's still parrot teaching. It doesn't teach. It's what I want, teach people how to learn or what to learn. It's still there. It's still on the what to learn side. It's coming more and more on the how to learn. If you teach your kids how to learn, then they will choose what they want to learn and they will devour that learning like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
I never read a book until I was 23. And I didn't think I could read a freaking book. And then I got into this spiritual stuff because of fucking accidents and crap. And I fucking devoured books like there was no tomorrow. And I still don't think I've read anything else in the last 30 years except the spiritual, self-help, new age books, right? I don't read novels and stuff like that. But, you can, the amount of books that I've devoured over the last 30 years in these topics, quantum physics, I fucking read about that for fun. Who the fuck does that? Oh yeah, this would be fun, a bit of quantum physics, right?
As you do, right?
As you do. But it's like, that's because I learned how to learn. If you learn how to learn, which is take it back to the basics. This is what the 9 tools that we share. This is what our YouTube videos and that are about, If you learn the basics, How to learn is how to question, how to open your mind. What's an open mind mean? Most people have no idea. They say, oh, you got to be open-minded.
Open-minded.
They call open-minded is just excessively closed-minded. They're just closed-minded with much more topics, right? They've got fucking infinite. They've got 1,000 topics.
You need to be open to compromise.
Their mind is open because they've got 1,000. They've got 1,000 topics. You've only got 100 topics, so your mind's closed. It's still closed. It's just closed in a bigger way, right? An open mind is that mind that we're talking about before. I don't know. Maybe that's all there is. It's. I call it the mind of wonderment, the mind of a child. I wonder. I wonder if that's true. I wonder if that's all there is. That's how it seems, but I wonder if there's more. That's an open mind. That's what a real open mind is. It allows space for the universe to come through and to constantly change and constantly show you more and more points of view until you see so many points of view that you finally let go of every fucking point of view and just go with the flow and do what you need to do in the moment. So, that's the simple version of it. So the school system, yes, it is failing many, but who says it's not supposed to? How things change. Things change when they don't work. How do things change in your life? When do they change the most? When you get fucking fed up, when they're not working. Most people don't change it when it's just starting to not work.
Yeah.
They wait until it completely fucking doesn't work anymore, and then they surrender to a new way. So what's to say the system isn't going to do the same thing? Stop judging the schools and see that it's happening to all of us.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. It's just, it's time for a change. But that will change. None of us really like to go through change.
Yeah.
There's times when we do, and we love change, and the rest of the time we go, oh, no, I don't want that much change. Just
that's not to say a lot of us don't expect it to change straight away, John.
Oh, yes. Expect it to change straight away. Well, we're holding on to it, not to change. Don't change too much. Don't change that part. Change everything else, but not that part.
Not that part. Don't look at that part.
So, yeah, these are, this is more... Was it 90%?
It's back to the following journeys. 90% can't follow because their compass born broken. I
wouldn't say born broken. I think the compass is the intuition. This is what our whole show is about, right? And the compass is our intuition.
Yeah.
If it feels light, it's right. If it's heavy, it's a lie. The compass was never born broken. It's all born. It's taught out of us at a very young age. We're taught out of listening to its light. We go into logic. We go into too much fucking reason. That can't be it. That's too simple. Why do you want to do that? I don't know. It just feels right. No, you can't. You can't do it just because it feels right. You got to tell me why you want to do it. This is the current system, the old system of duality, the old system of being able to teach everyone to do the same thing. We can't teach. We're all here. We're all basically the same, but we're all completely different in some ways, like fingerprints, like DNA. There's 7 billion different paths on the planet, but there's one destination. So but there's so many different ways of doing that. The compass is taught out of us by not. We're all born intuitive. We all know this stuff, but our adults not deliberately don't take this into judgment, but our parents and all that stuff, they get caught in the system, and they don't let you. They don't. You're told not to follow your feelings.
Yeah.
You're told not to follow your heart because it'll get broken. It comes from their good intention. They're just, they came from a world where it was a lot harder. So their compass is turned around. It's flipped around. The compass is working fine. It's just for most people, north is south and south is north.
I mean, you're going back to the school discussion. They don't teach you anything really about your intuition at school, right? They don't like you asking questions.
They teach you about your logic. They teach you, and that logic is one part of our mind. That's 1/4 of our mind, and it's very good. But if we've got so much effort and so much emphasis on 1/4 of our mind, what about the other 3/4? What about the other 3 parts? What are they for? Leave that part alone. That's fine. That logic is fine. Let's develop the other part. Let's develop our sense of who we are. I'm not a child of man. I'm a child of God. Grow that. Understand that you're an infinite being and you're a child of God. If you understand reincarnation, if you understand these things, you can't get caught up in fear. That will be able to handle and balance that logic, right?
Yeah.
And then you've got another 2 parts. Start growing them. Leave that one alone. Don't try and kill your ego. That's fucking ridiculous. That's the ego trying to kill itself, right? The real self doesn't work on kill. The real self doesn't work on fear. The real self, it knows. It only works on on creation, on growing, on evolving. So yes, the compasses are turned around, but they're not broken, and we've been taught that way, and we can unteach ourselves that way very quickly.
Yeah.
It's there's so much all around. excuse me, focus on the positivity. You know, people say there's so much bad stuff in the world. No, there's not. There's way more good stuff in the world. Just the media shows the bad stuff, and we're addicted to the bad stuff. You know, if I sit here and tell you about this lovely thing that this lady done, or I go and tell you this fucking guy down here that done this, you know, 10 people are going to want to listen to me say about the fucking guy that fucked this shit up, rather than the lovely lady who fucking, you know, made this kid cry because she gave him a gift, right? So it's just, we do it ourselves. We focus on, we're more drawn to the negative, right? But that doesn't mean there's more negative. If there's more negative showing up in the media, if there's more negative in the world, that's because there's so much more positive coming in, right? That's the reason. That's by default, you start to understand that. The more negative we're seeing around, that proves that there's more positive, there's more consciousness coming into the planet than there ever was. You know, the internet is one way of doing that. Now that we've got over the whole part of, you know, fucking taking selfies and that, we're starting to use it for a much better way now. You know? But that's not bad either, because the selfies freak me out. You know, because when I was a kid, if I took a fucking photo of myself at school, you get beat up,
you get bashed,
being an egotist, right? You can't even smile in the photo because you get, you know, you love yourself and you get beat up. You know, so we needed that stage where we went through, where we've overdone the selfies and everything else, because I had to compensate for the time when we cut our own feelings out too much. Right? Yeah, it's a pendulum effect. You know, it's coming back to the nice balance now, and you know, these things go to extremes to balance out. You know, so you know, don't judge any of that. This is just all the balance. So just look at it in yourself. Look at it where you need to change. All right.
So who else wants to go? Who else? What else? What else is pissing you off?
What peeves you off? What
peeves you off? The word peeve.
Peeve. People are fucking politically correct.
People are politically correct. That fucking pisses me off.
Yes. So you know, these things that annoy us are in us. The whole world, every level above is a reflection of the level below. Macrocosm, microcosm, as above, so below. Same thing over and over. So if you're seeing it in the outside world, in the universe, then it's in you. And if you want to correct it, and you correct it by correcting the inside yourself, doesn't mean it's going to go away completely in the outside world. It's going to give the outside world a possibility for it to go away much faster. And the fact is, that it won't annoy you as much anymore. And the more of us that do this, and the more of us correct it, we don't need to fight on the outside. We need to change on the inside, which creates the space, it creates the vibration, it creates the frequency. It's like a band, we're like a choir. The more of us that focus on the positive, the more of us that love the positive and sit in that and change it inside of ourselves, that silent choir around the earth will change things overnight. There's a critical mass on that level. So once enough of us get into just focusing on the positive, bang, the other stuff just drops off instantly. All the ones that are out of tune have to sing in tune like us, you know? So it's like, you know, if we tune in with the universe, if we tune in with God, which is always love, which is always growth, which is always evolution. And that doesn't mean that, like, even in evolution, like when the trees grow, you know, some of the branches die and drop off for new branches to grow. You can't just keep growing without some of the old shit dropping off, right? It's part of the real way we grow. So don't focus on the stuff that's dropping off. Don't focus on the stuff that's dying off. Focus on the stuff that's growing and blooming, and just accept that some shit has to die off. Otherwise, the tree can't keep growing. So it's the same. That's the macrocosm, microcosm, as above, so below. If it's true in nature, if it's true in the universe, it's true in us. That's how you can find God's law. It applies on every level. It applies in nature, it applies in us, it applies in the universe.
Okay, Shazza, 7 weeks ago I let my cousin move in and I feel she's using me and I don't want to hurt her, but I need my home back to myself.
Well, just keep hurting yourself then.
Just keep hurting yourself then.
Sorry, that's how smart I was coming out, right? So it's like you're hurting yourself, right? Therefore, you're hurting everyone. So, you know, you might hurt her if you kick her out, but it might be the thing that she needs to get on her feet. So you don't know that, and you can't blame yourself for that. But in the meantime, you're hurting everyone else because it's hurting you. Everyone else that loves you and everyone else that's connected with you is all getting hurt from this one person.
Right.
This is what happens when we don't want to hurt her, and you're judging that it will hurt her. She might have a spit. It might, you know, take her into a bit more, but that might be get her to the surrender point that she needs to get to start taking control of her own life.
Yeah.
And you can't assume responsibility for anyone, not even your own kids. We're all children of God, right? It's always God's responsibility. So you've got to see that, you know, you can take the risk of maybe hurting her, or you can just keep going along with hurting you and everyone else you love.
Yeah.
So you might hurt one person, or you can continue to keep hurting yourself, which hurts everyone else you love.
Yeah.
Because we're all connected in that way.
You know,
And the people in the closest circle are getting hurt more. The ones that are doing the good, that are doing nice, they're the ones that are getting hurt by this. And you don't know. You don't know. You could be enabling her.
Yeah, by, you know, doing the whole 100%, right,
Yeah.
of that, rather than just doing your part and letting your cousin do her part.
Yeah.
So 50%, 50%, right? You know, even get to, like, firstly, maybe get to the point where you choose to have a conversation with them.
Yeah, exactly.
Just get to that
Don't
point.
go to the whole way.
Don't go the
you know,
whole way,
the
right?
frustration builds up, and you go and kick her out. That's not
All right,
necessarily
you know, I'll agree that, you know, I'll agree to have a conversation with. I don't know when, if it feels right, and when it comes up, if that could even be enough to break the
That's
negativity.
just
and
by
attention,
agreeing
right? Just
to
by
it.
agreeing to.
Yeah. And
You know?
9 times out of 10, that's exactly right.
You know,
You agree to do it, and you just say, okay, and make it about you. When you know, look, this is not working for me, and I can't continue like this. So you got to do your half and give them the option. So you know, it's got to change, or I'm gonna. If it doesn't change, then I'll have to end it. I don't want to do that. You know, just agree to do your half. As John said, when you do, and you just do one step at a time. And that can, you know, maybe she won't move out. Maybe she'll stay there and actually start working as a team with you.
Yeah.
She'll start co-creating with you, and it'll work out better for both of you. But until you make that step, until you realize that hurting yourself is hurting all those people that you love, because if, you know, you're worried about hurting them, that means you're hurting you.
Yeah.
And it's like, and therefore, if you're hurting you, you're hurting all the people that are actually doing the right thing around you.
And you know, we underestimate how much our energies are affecting each other. Just because you're not talking about it, you know, you think you're skirting through the issues, doesn't mean that you're actually not impacting each other severely. and as I said, even just by agreeing to have that conversation can be enough to dispel some, you know, not all, but some of that energy, or all of it, right?
Sometimes,
as you know, and as John said, that might be enough for the whole situation to shift dynamically, right? You don't know.
And it'll unravel, you know, that agreeing to do it and starting to do it, agreeing yourself, okay, I'm going to have this conversation. I'm going to say, look, and make it about you. Don't make it about them. This isn't working for me. You know, I know you need this and that, but I need this. I need peace. I need.
Come back to your feelings.
When you go into the speech or get into the talk, go into with that. You know, this isn't working for me, and there's got to be a change. I don't know what we can do.
Yeah.
You know, if something doesn't change, then I'm going to have to ask you to leave. But right now, I'm just saying it's not working for me. And that can cause a massive, massive change.
And you hear, like, in the way John just described it, he's not jumping to any points of view about asking her to move out, or, you know, coming up with how he thinks it's going to end. Right. He's just going, okay.
You say that in there. If you're giving them an opportunity to come back with a genuine offer of how to coexist or co-create. And it's like, you know, you know, and if they come back and say, you know, no, you know, that doesn't work for me. You can still say that doesn't work for me. You can put the thing in. If we can't get a resolution with this, I will have to ask you to move out. But I don't want to do that. But that's what I will do. If we can't come, and if they come up and they've got the same old excuses, and you just say, no, sorry, that doesn't work for me. That doesn't work for me. Give me another option. Give me another option. Put your hand on your heart when you do it. I guarantee it'll make a big difference. This doesn't work for me. It's really hurting me. I can't do it this way anymore. I'm looking for another solution.
You know, and one thing that I learned from John is don't feel obligated to respond then and there as well. If you get to a point where you feel like, you know, I don't know, you can't really speak from your heart anymore, just, you know, just go, okay, look, leave it with me. Leave it with me.
I'll get back to you tomorrow. You know, so yeah, don't feel obligated. If they come up with a solution, you don't think it's going to work, look, say, I don't know. I'm not going to say yes to that yet. I'll sit with that. And
I'll think about it.
Yeah. So. All right, guys. Well, that just about finishes up for tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Check out our YouTube page. If anyone wants any readings, private readings, personal messages on the BQuest link, which is up there, or on our BQuest website. Check out our website. Check out our YouTube, and we'll catch you next week. Thank you very much.
See you later, guys. Have a good night. Have a good week.